topic, specifically the All In podcast, episode 131. I will make sure to cover that first as we get started. We need to talk about insurance companies fleeing California, Florida, and some other states. We need to talk about some data coming out of John Burns, and is the recession canceled? Lots of stuff going on today. Let's jump into it. Again, I apologize for missing this yesterday. The All In podcast 131 clearly was not one of my favorites. I have given the All In podcast and that entire crew many flowers. I like what they talk about. I like how the four vibe off each other. I personally believe that episode 131 was not J. Cal's best effort. J. Cal likes to call himself the greatest moderator in the world. In my opinion, he spent most of that episode trying to get one of his best friends, or as they say, besties, trapped in a quote that traditional media could use. He was trying to get Freeberg. He was trying to get David Sachs. He was trying to get all of these folks quoted in something, and the episode was a big dumpster fire, in my opinion. I don't think there was really anything talked about of substance. It was basically four grown men who are certainly much richer than I am, trying to get each other. And I agreed with Eric Freeberg about halfway through. I'm out of here, I think he said. So again, episode 131, not my best effort. And I do believe, unfortunately, a lot of that lies on the shoulders of the moderator or J. Cal. It was not well done. It was frankly a waste of all of our time to kind of watch that episode. So again, that was my feelings about it. I did not enjoy that episode. They didn't cover anything of substance. They were just trying to catch each other in craziness. So that was my opinion. I should have covered it yesterday and I did not. I apologize. Next up, I don't know if you've heard this. I don't know if you are a California investor, but a lot of insurance companies, or several insurance companies, are pulling out, not writing new policies, or canceling policies. This is happening to me right now. So a lot of you have reached out and says, hey, are you seeing this? Yes. I have a fourplex in Fresno, California. The renewal was coming up August 1st of this year. The carrier has decided to not renew. The reason? They are no longer writing those policies. This is happening, some of the biggest, I believe, Farmers or State Farm, I think it was State Farm, basically said no more with California. It is happening at others. Sometimes good karma pays off. I don't know if you know this. I have a playlist in a building in Fresno called The Hub. We have been lucky enough to, just in the last 2 weeks, add an insurance broker. Fortuitous timing. And what did I do? I went to that insurance broker and said, hey, can you re-quote this policy? So again, if you happen to be a California investor, you don't have contacts to insurance brokers. Insurance brokers are like mortgage brokers. They have access to many characters. I am going to give you an office phone number. If you are in California and you got a cancellation notice, you fear a cancellation notice, you want to get a contact with an insurance broker, this is who I called. This is who is re-quoting my fourplex. You can call 559-696-9196. Again, you're going to be reaching out to Elaine. She is at the Hub, which is an office building I own, in full disclosure. She is helping me re-quote this fourplex that was canceled. The number is, again, 559-696-9196. Let me be clear. If you are a California investor, I would strongly recommend, even if you have not gotten a cancellation, you reach out to Elaine now just to introduce yourself, just in case. So again, I got a cancellation notice like June 1st or June 2nd. I need to have new coverage in place by August. I think it was August let's say August 30th. Maybe it was August. I think it was 90-day notice. So again, this is happening. This is a problem, and I expect my insurance rate to go up. I'm not going to be convinced and think it will go down. I certainly think insurance in California is going up. We are hearing the same things in Florida. So again, if you are an investor, take this number down in California, 559-696-9196. Reach out to Elaine. Let's talk about Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley has come out and said we are sticking with our soft landing. There is no recession in 2023. The Fed will not be cutting rates till 2024. I would ask you to watch a playlist called Dan Bird or Dan Stocks on my channel. He and I spoke yesterday. The videos went live at 5 and 7 p.m. yesterday. Dan Bird put out a great case. I think it was video number 1 about there not being a recession in 2023. Now, again, I am not changing my call. I wouldn't do that to you. I still believe that there's a chance that a recession is called in Q2, which is obviously the quarter we are in. We will not know for 6 to 9 months. I do believe we are in a very different type of recession. It is something called a rolling recession versus, a quick economic collapse in all sectors. This one is very different than the ones we've experienced in the last 12 to 15 years. But I do want to give Dan credit. Dan Bird has been amazing with his calls. He has been generally bullish on the stock market, certainly. He's talked about 4,200, 4,300. I think it would be wise to at least review what Dan said yesterday, and specifically, if you want to go back and check, he has receipts because his videos are there. You can go back in time and see what we are talking about. So pretty cool stuff going on. So again, I am not yet changing my opinion. I still think there's a chance that a recession will be flagged in Q2, but I have to say, not nearly as confident as I was 6 to 8 weeks ago. So use that for what you were. I don't know if you saw this, but Saudi Arabia is taking another voluntary cut to oil production. They are backing off, it is rumored, about 1 million additional barrels. Apparently, Saudi Arabia has a break-even price of $80 a barrel. So they would like to see, obviously, oil over that number. Again, this is it's going to be interesting because, again, I would expect oil to be up today. I didn't check, but again, Saudi Arabia being the biggest producer certainly would have impact. IMF chief says that there's no significant slowdown in lending, which I think is interesting. The Fed may need to do more. They expect the unemployment rate to go up to 4.5%. I think this is interesting. I'm not really sure what the IMF chief is looking at. I've talked to multiple lenders, and I talk to multiple lenders every week. Lending is clearly slowing down. It might be in sectors that they don't look at, but we are seeing the commercial lending market really dry up. So I would argue that lending is down. I would lending that tighter lending conditions are at least 50 basis points in additional rate increases, if not more. But we are going to start to see those numbers roll in probably the middle of June. Lots going on. I do think it's interesting they talk about an employment rate at 4.5%. To me, that's kind of the best case scenario. But yeah, it is. We now have seen unemployment go up 2 months in a row, 3.4, 3.5, 3.7. Some of that is obviously participation rate, things coming from U6 to U3, right? The uninterested to the interested, if you will, getting a job. So lots going on there. Lance Lambert, again, a wonderful follow on Twitter, News Lambert and Fortune writer, put out some data that I thought was interesting. It looks like Phoenix, Arizona, one of the largest markets in the U.S. focused on by the crash bros. Inventory appears to be down. Active listings, aka inventory, appears to be down 9.8% month on month. New listings across the country, active listings across the country up 3% month on month, 22% year on year. New listings are down 23% year on year. More on that later, because I think we are about to cross an interesting threshold in Logan from Housing Wire put it out yesterday or this morning. Altos Research, again, Altos Research, shout out to team Mike. He was gracious enough to come on the channel last week where we talked price, inventory, and new listings. Again, 3 very important metrics. Check out those videos. It looks like active listings for the week. Again, Altos Research puts out the most up-to-date data. Active listings are up 3,000 listings to a total of 436. They are up 7.6% from the seasonal June or July. Looks like no sound came in. Oh, sorry about that. I think I got a phone call for some reason, and it took off the sound. Hopefully the sound is back. All right, very cool. All right. So again, what I was saying there is Altos Research active listings are up 3,000 to a total of 436. Oh, the sound went in and out. Sorry about that. Again, I think I got a phone call for the first time. I apologize. Again, active listings up 3K, 436, up 7.6 from the seasonal bottom, down 53.7 from 2019. I apologize for the sound, my mistake. So again, Logan from Housing Wire, new listing data could end the year at the lowest level on record. Think about that. That is going to be something very interesting. Last up, John Burns. John Burns talks about the expenses of being a landlord going up higher or faster than rent. So again, if you are a landlord, pay attention to this. We are certainly seeing expenses in taxes and insurance go up this year. John Burns is reporting that expenses are up 8% this year, and rent growth is only about 6.5%. It is interesting that John Burns is talking about single family homes, which is obviously something the one rental at a time care about. So again, it is very interesting. I don't know, I haven't officially canceled the recession, but it is something we need to look at going forward. So again, folks, this is your daily financial news. I want to thank you for being here. We have 2 cards going out. Chris, congratulations. You have 2 cards. They are already stamped. They are going to go in the mailbox right over there. Guys, have an amazing day. Daily financial news. Like, subscribe, comment. We do these live. I apologize for the sound cutting out. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.